Okay.
Well, I think it's because, again, I mean, he doesn't.
Like this right here implies that Candace
Owens didn't make Ethan look bad.
Yeah.
Candace Owens isn't the reason that like people who watch Ethan's streams say like you sound like a fucking idiot to him.
Independent of anything else, okay? You're getting mad at a dude. You're getting mad at a dude who went on Theo Von's show, okay? That's right.
DeepSeek on.
If Ethan Klein used DeepSeek instead of ChatGPT, yuck. Okay, he would have known better.
Oh, he would have known.
I love Belden Road. I'll send you postcards on the high-speed rail after Elon arrests you. Bro, you are not getting in, okay? You are not
you're
going to be
just as cooked as we are, pal.
No, he glazes China way more than I do.
He's a
no, he will get
so he's getting first and he's getting on the boat out.
Oh, for sure. He will get the Ben Norton. I think Mike probably glazes China more than I do. I would say he's like the one guy that glazes China more than me. Yeah. If the old one use DeepSeek, yeah.
Although, can Westerners use DeepSeek still? I thought they like closed accounts or something.
I don't
use AI.
I don't use AI shit. Yeah. Are we boomers for that? I feel like it's a principled stance. And also it's stupid.
It's principle, but it's like I've yet to encounter like. Here, I'll give you an example, right? Like before AI, ChatGPT became the frame through which people talked about this. Like I've used things that are like AI audio transcription that save me a lot of time and pain in my ass. But like the idea of it's like I'm going to rely on this magic text box, and by say magic, I mean that like a text box that doesn't show its homework and gives me false shit all the time.
Yeah.
What use do I have for it?
Yeah. No.
What use do I have?
It's like asking your friend who's like very convincing, but who doesn't know everything.
And I'll add that like I think that there are things that it's useful for in like a simple like if you like there's office job stuff that I can see it useful for, and like I'm not going to begrudge anybody for using that, but like for the things that I do and that people have tried to shove it down my throat or like really really talk it up to me. It's like everything that they're describing. It's like, no, I've got a better process for that I do with my much smarter human brain that processes the information. And that, by the way, like people are paying for me to do, not for like a shitty computer imitation of me to do.
Yeah. Holy shit. Every time I turn on Twitter, there's a new insane thing that I'm seeing. My Twitter feed is like definitely polluted by whatever I'm looking at, but goddamn, there's way too much like Ethan Klein's Instagram story posting. This man never stops posting on his Instagram stories. Yeah. The latest thing, before we move on to Could Have Been Love, the latest thing I saw was he was apparently complaining about shit that I talked about in the Theo Von interview.
What?
Yeah.
What is he?
I saw someone post in the...
Does he have like anything else to give a fuck about?
No.
The Lakers. He lives in Los Angeles.
I've never seen anybody crash out this long before in my entire... Look, this is so funny. This Twitter poster also posted the Instagram story on the side.
Theo having a son on, not asking about his statement to kill Rick Scott, his love and disdain for terrorism, his disdain of liberal democracy.
Yeah, his love and support for terrorism, his disdain for liberal democracy is truly an embarrassment that I hope Theo doesn't live down.
Ironically, similar to how Hasan interviewed the Houthi terrorists.
Like,
ironically, a word I know.
Yeah, I'm also a terrorist, just like the other the kid who's not even a Houthi, and. It's really funny because I did address all of those things. I like that's so fucking hilarious about this shit. That's what's so fucking hilarious about it is because he just doesn't know anything. How does he mess up like basic shit? Like all you had to do was just like, I don't know, look at the comments of the video to see like Hasan talks about this, you know, like sometimes they just like put the time codes and shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, here's what I'm thinking now. I think that whenever you do new content that's not your streams, but like when you go to Theo, when you do like Theo Von or something, what you've got to do is you've got to time code and like, send a transcript to Ethan so that he doesn't make these mistakes. I think you should help him out. Because if he's going to use you for making all of his content now, the least he could do is be bothered to actually look at the shit.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous because like it's extra ridiculous because the hilarious part about this is like how if you care about anti-Semitism, and I mean Ethan is Jewish, living in the United States of America, okay? He does care about anti-Semitism because of self-preservation, right? And as someone who I know cares about anti-Semitism because of self-preservation, how are you so obsessed with me that you don't you don't see how scary this is? Because Theo interviewed me 2 days ago, and it got 600,000 views. Before Theo interviewing me, he apparently interviewed Candace Owens. That interview got 1.8 million views. Okay? Like, you can say, oh, well, he knows Hasan. That's why he's like this active and this, this aggressive about this shit or whatever. But it's like, dude, if you care about growing anti-Semitism in the country, okay, how the do you not even, and I'm not even blaming Theo for this. I'm saying, how the do you not see this being a very damaging dynamic? Okay.
Well, I think it's because, again, he doesn't
like this right here implies that Candace
Owens didn't make Ethan look bad.
Yeah.
Candace Owens isn't the reason that like people who watch Ethan's streams say like you sound like an idiot to him.
Independent of anything else, okay? You're getting mad at a dude. You're getting mad at a dude who went on Theo Von's show, okay, to basically talk about progressive values and try to claw back a little bit of this media space from the incredibly dominant right wing, okay? Just claw back a piece of this space, this media landscape, back to the progressive side. Because that's my goal. My goal is to go to these spaces and explain to them what my positions are. Explain to them that your enemies aren't trans people, your enemies aren't gay people, Guatemalan migrants are not your boss, right? It's like to lock in and understand who the real villains are, to talk about how Trump is a hypocrite and he's wrong and he's phony and how he's actively harming you. And I do a pretty good job at that. So in that process, you as a person who claims that they are by anti-Semitism and B, someone who is supposedly progressive, how the do you not see how awful this dynamic is? That someone who is both right-wing and also deeply anti-Semitic is getting infinitely more clout. Like, they're growing. Right-wingers are growing. This is my warning to the liberals, okay? This is my warning to the liberals, to people who care about these values, whether you care about like social progress or whether you care about anti-Semitism growing, okay? I am not your enemy. You have maybe deluded yourself into thinking that that is the case, but lock the in. You are being incredibly stupid and self-centered and not realizing that the right is dominating this space. Does this mean that I am not worthy of criticism, that you can't criticize me at all? Of course not. Okay? Of course not. But please focus on actual issues that you might have and not ones that you have imagined in your mind that you are trying to actively justify by consistently smearing me, okay? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but I do hope that liberals understand what is happening. I hope that liberals understand what is in front of them, okay? Because the reality of the matter is the right, whether we like to admit it or not, are incredibly dominant in this sphere. And if you're actively trying to go after someone who you ostensibly agree with, in terms of ideology, in terms of worldview, then you probably shouldn't be spending your entire day, every single day, going after someone like myself and trying to disparage my name to what remains of your progressive base of support. Okay? Or maybe you just don't give a shit. I don't know. That's probably the
that's what I think. That's what I've been saying is that I think, here's what I think. I'll repeat myself. And I've said this before here, that again, he doesn't care about anti-Semitism. That's not what the issue is here. The issue is that he knows you and that he holds you to blame for the fact that he gets yelled at every day for insisting on beating the drum of like you know, whatever the talking point is that he's seized on today about how either you are bad, you're anti-Semitic, and that like this is reflective of like a crisis facing the Jews. Like it's you only get to that part about like Jewish safety or whatever at like that last moment, once he's already like lathered himself up, you know, getting worked up about how like you have like, you know, you've brain virused, you know, so many people. Like he's not. It's that's what he cares about. That is what he cares about.
The thing I care about is not like him actively smearing me every day, but the thing I do care about is like his audience of previously progressive individuals is not recognizing that they've actively aligned themselves with the likes of Keemstar, a number of different Trump supporters, Elon Musk. Apparently Sneeko. Like that Sneeko video is like a 1-to-1 with the content nuke, or at least certain parts of the content nuke, or at least the battle drums that he's been banging. Asmongold, Quarter Pounder, Grums, like people that you normally would go, what the fuck? What is happening here? It's crazy. And it sucks that like a community of previously progressive individuals are basically just now, you know, duped by Ethan's new perspective and are now actively, you know, aligning with the likes of Tim Pool and shit to come after other progressive content creators. $800 billion of Medicare and Medicaid that they want to cut. Mike Johnson goes on stage, says, goes on Caitlin Collins on CNN and says, oh, there's a lot of fraud happening. There's not fraud happening in Medicare and Medicaid on the point of the recipient.
Right.
It's happening on the point of the providers.
Right.
And that's why I got banned recently on Twitch yesterday. Because
I saw you got banned, and I saw you just got back.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok was like posting about how I said something, and they misconstrued it as though it was a call to action to assassinate a sitting U.S. senator. Because I said to Mike Johnson, because I was listening to him back and forth, I said like, if Mike Johnson actually cared about Medicare fraud, he would tackle Medicare fraud happening at the point of the providers. But it's obvious that he doesn't care about Medicare fraud, because if he did care about Medicare fraud, he would break Scott, who is responsible for the historic $1.7 billion worth of Medicare fraud.
And is he still working the
Bro, he's the
head of the Senate Republicans.
He was a corporate executive at HCA at the time in the 90s.
The NRSC.
That's what I was looking for. That's what I couldn't figure out. Like I forgot that what his like position was beyond being a senator. The DOJ came after him and he basically quit his job. He got a $10 million compensation package after doing $1.7 billion
in the private sector, and then came and worked in
the private sector. He got $300 million in stock options. Didn't see a moment of jail time for that. Okay. And then he became Florida governor, and now he's a Florida senator, and he's a prominent figure in the Republican Party. I think he was like their head of their fundraising or some shit. I forget what his position in the Trump campaign in the Republican Party is beyond the fact that he's a senator. That guy should be in jail. Like that's what I think. I think if you do $1.7 billion in Medicare fraud, you should be in jail. Like what are we talking about? You shouldn't be a Republican senator from Florida. How does Hasan's dick taste? Ethan's thoughts 24/7. That's good. That's funny.
That's funny.